This is a hot one. Annie, we've not even gone for lunch because we're like, let the conversation first end. We didn't expect to be here this long, but thank you. Pius, Rina, let me start by saying thank you. You have changed meetings when you are here. And for those who she changed meetings for, understand this is why. Pius, thank you so much.
She's been buying time, redeeming time.
People
when we're here.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. You're a rich woman.
The years that you're giving.
Amen to that.
I mean, the years. The information that you're giving is years worth of experience, and you're giving it for free. I am very cognizant that you're giving it for free because you want people to get there. And where is there? You want people to get to the point where people, cash flows, time, all of that has been redeemed. And we're trying to answer the question that I asked in the beginning, and that is, can I make money doing nothing?
Yeah.
And what I'm really asking is, can I be doing the thing that I want to be doing, have it even be CTA, and knowing that this is even financed without having to struggle and change this kind of content just so that I can make money to do the content that I want.
And you know the person. You know an example.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So here is the thing. In this place, you talked about something called, before we ended, it was fire. You said the words net worth. And Rina was like, oh my God, talk about it. What is this that we may not understand about net worth?
Yeah, that's a good question. Now, allow me to jump onto it. Today is Thursday. Thursdays or Fridays, if you are on Wayaki Way, you'll notice something. Matatus or, these PSVs with a coffin on top, on the carrier, and household items. You'll see tables, you'll see nini, all of them tied together. I don't know that it's just me who sees that.
I've not noticed.
But because, in Western, burial takes a couple of days, and these road trips, they do have to do these road trips. So I've noticed they carry all these belongings to this person who is in the coffin. And I keep asking myself, what does this represent? And it hits me so hard that this is all the belongings of this person. So then it begs the question, I come back to myself, do I know my net worth? If today I was to be, people were to say, let's take Pius's things back to up country, what would that amount to? And I've asked this question many times, many people, and 9 out of 10 do not know.
9 out of 10?
Do not know. And even the 10th one, they have an idea, but they don't have an accurate answer. And the reason is because when you start paying yourself first, and you don't have a clear strategy and a clear direction of where you're going with your pay yourself first, then you start spreading your seed. So today, you put money in land because people are buying land. Tomorrow, you put money in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin because you've had a friend is investing in Bitcoin. The following month, somebody comes up with a brilliant idea to join an investment group, and you start contributing to that investment group. By the time it is 3 or 5 years, you cannot manage, you cannot even remember the things that you have invested in.
But you said diversify, Pius.
It's true, diversify.
Yeah, but
it's true, diversify. But diversification must be also manageable. Okay? So, what I've seen I've realized this thing, because when I started putting together our family balance sheet, I would go to sleep, and as I'm sleeping, I wake up, I'm like, I forgot an asset. I forgot something. I forgot something that is in Lamu. I go, I put it on the Then I'm driving. I'm like, oh, I have 50,000 bob in my M-Pesa. I forgot to put it in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I started realizing, first of all, do you know what you're not tracking can easily be stolen? So that is one way we have idle money, because money is just getting stolen. We are entering into these investment groups where there is absolutely no accountability. There is nowhere we are going. It is just a social gathering with the comfort that we are putting money together. But there is really no, it cannot help me to achieve what I am not able to achieve by myself. So this has become another source of idle money because it creates chaos in our finances. In fact, let me just give this example. I had a meeting somewhere in Upper Hill. It was around, I finished the meeting around 5 o'clock. And as I was exiting the building, I called one of my friends. I remembered one of my friends used to work there and was actually the managing director of a major insurance company in the country. So I called this person. I said, hey, I am actually in your building. By any chance, are you in the office? He's like, come on in. I went up. I sat down. And as I was just settling down, he told me, you know, Pius, everybody knows Pius, and Pius is around, we talk about money. Pius, I've been in this office for 14 years. I have done a lot for this company, but I do not see myself making any difference from here. So, but I'm scared. I'm scared if I leave this job, I will not be able to meet my obligations. And I was like, I took out a pen and paper and I started asking him questions. I said, do you have any children who are still in school? He said, yes. How much do you pay school fees? We wrote down. Do you have a house? He said, yes. Okay. How much does it take to run your house? We put down all his expenses. Said, okay. In fact, we came out with a number, 300,000.
A month.
A month. If only he had 300,000, if anyone could see somewhere he gets 300,000 every month, he would have been ready to retire that day. I said, okay, fine. Now let's put that aside. Let's find out what investments have you made. We started putting his assets or investments together. Oh, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. Like, we came up with a total value of his investment and how much he needed. And guess what?
It was more than enough.
He had all the money to retire. He just did not know.
Yeah. He was making money doing nothing.
No. Probably
Or
land.
He had assets.
Okay, I get it.
Spread in so many places that he could not monitor. He had never seen it in one picture. It is the first time it fell on him that he had enough assets to retire.
Oh.
2 weeks later, he called me, said, Pius, guess what? I've handed in my resignation.
Wow.
And I'm getting, to make things even better, I'm getting a golden parachute. He was getting money for retiring early. He left. We started a portfolio for him. We started paying him 300K. Before we could finish 3 months, he was already identified by the president and was given a job as a chairman of some commission. Now he had income coming in. He called me, said, Paz, now, first of all, thank you. I got back my 8 hours. I redeemed my 8 hours. I bought back my 8 hours. But now I'm getting this money from somewhere else and other things that I'm doing. Can I just tell Nabu not to be sending me this money? I'll be surviving on this. I said, no. The idea was to buy back your time. We will continue sending you this money. You, when you get money that you don't need, put it in your, so that you depend on your portfolio, not on the things that you do every day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time we meet, he tells me, thank you. He is doing what he loves every single day of the year. And he is young, he retired young. He's like he had a moment to reinvent himself. And that's just one of many stories that we have. But the point I was trying to make, the reason why he had not retired until I sat down with him is because his assets were spread everywhere.
And he didn't know.
And he could not be able to monitor. So the lesson here is, please make sure, even though you are diversifying, make sure you have a money manager. Consolidate things with your money manager. And I say, let me know what land you have. Let me know what you have. Let me know how much you invested with Rina. Let me put it together for you. And then we can look at it. Even though I'm not managing everything, I can tell you, by the way, you see, if you shift this asset to this, you'll have this. Yeah? Let me give one more story.
Before you go to that story, there's something very powerful in tracking.
Yes.
And
Tracking.
the truth is this, a lot of times so that story is great, and maybe somebody doesn't relate with it because he was an MD somewhere, he's not earning 100K. But there's something so powerful about tracking, because what happens is that these small, seemingly insignificant changes we are making in like 24 months completely change your life forever. But if you're not tracking, you don't know what you're doing. The key thing is consistency. I was reading somewhere about a guy, and this guy learned a recipe on Food Network, and it was a recipe for muffins, and he made them one day for his family, and his kids loved it. They were like, oh my gosh, it's so yummy. So he was like, hey. So he started making them frequently, and then now his kids would have one, but then he started eating, and then he started learning more pastries and started eating more pastries, and now he continued eating those pastries, and then he started feeling, oh, I'm getting a bit sluggish. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to go for that walk that I normally go with my wife.
It's a compounding effect.
And then, I won't go with that walk with my wife because I'm feeling a bit tired. And so then the effect of not going for the walk outside with the trees and fresh air, his stress is increasing. And so now performance at work is being affected. And then he's having to stay longer to do the same amount of work. And so now he's not going for his walks with his wife, and he's not performing well. His wife is missing him now because he's not coming for the walks. And so his marriage starts to take an issue. And
everything is...
and it started with one muffin.
Yes.
These small, insignificant steps that we do nothing or do a lot with completely change our life over time. For the first 18 months, maybe even 20 months, you see like nothing. But there's something it just does this way or this way that then completely change your life for the good, better or worse. Now, the tracking helps to get to that place faster, because now you have a purposeful way that you're making decisions, because you're making them from an informed place.
Absolutely.
The moment you're not tracking, you're either doing nothing, you're not making a decision. The assets go idle.
The assets go idle.
So for somebody what I'm hearing you say, for somebody who may be hearing this for the first time and like, oh my God, that is me they're talking about, I am it. The first thing that you'd advise them to do is what? Sit down and write
where everything is.
Exactly.
What do I have? How much do I have in my M-Pesa? How much do I have in this account? How much do I have here? Where is my land? What's the value of that land? What assets do I have? And then how much do I owe? I owe Nyaga, my veggie guy. I owe the school.
Yes.
I have a loan with it. I don't know which circle. I have this. No, what do you owe? Because even with debt, by the way, when you don't have a handle on what you owe, it just overwhelms you. And then you just do nothing. You don't create a strategy. You're just overwhelmed. You're hiding. You're not taking calls. You just want to go underground. But the moment you know it's like you begin, your mind starts trying to figure out, how do I make this thing better? What can I adjust? What can I do? You know, let me make this call. This person will help me. And you start working.
And it'll be taking these 2 Gs from here.
Right? You begin to create a strategy, even if it's small steps, but you start making the steps towards being better, getting out of that hole, or improving where you are.
Yeah. You know, it's so amazing. I have noticed something with our customers since we started doing investment plans, investing with purpose. Because this is not like a money market where you just put money. You have a 5-year goal, and we work towards that 5-year goal. In all customers who have had 5-year goals, without any exception, all of them have hit their goal before 5 years. Now, this is something we've been realizing when we have what you call our quarterly meetings, like in the 3rd year. And it's not because we are making extraordinary returns. It is because of how much they underestimated their capability to contribute to the fund. And let me give this example. They have this gentleman who called me from Bahrain. He had just been posted to Bahrain. And he's like, Pius, what is the minimum investment in Abu? I said 1 million. Those days, it was 1 million. He said, there's no...
Now it's...
Now we can even have chums with 5 bob. He said, before he could finish the statement to tell me it is too much, I told him, you will be the first one in Abu Capital that I'll make an exception for. I asked him, how much do you have? He said, 20,000. I told him, I'll make an exception for you on one condition, and one condition only. You commit to put money in that account, which belongs to you, not to Abu Capital, every month, something. And he committed to put 20,000 every month. Somewhere along the way, like 3 years later, we are sitting down and we are to review his portfolio. His portfolio was at 7.2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the profoundness was not the return that we had made. We had made good returns for him. But it became the place where he swept the M-Pesa accounts, the M-Pesa monies that used to disappear, the bonus that comes at the end of the year. It became a place where all the money that used to go idle and disappear unaccounted for was going. And to the client, they have this sudden realization, oh my God, so much money has been passing through my hands and I didn't know. Why? Because of this one word called tracking. The moment you start tracking, as you said, the mind starts figuring it out. The mind starts finding solutions and like, oh, you know what? I've had a speaking engagement somewhere. I've been given 50K. If I push that 50K, my contribution that month goes.
Sorted.
Double. Somewhere I've just received dividend from a company that I'd forgotten, or my circle. Oh, 200K. Boom. Before you realize what you had set out as your 5-year goal, you've achieved it in 3 years. Because you have no more leakages. And that's the importance of tracking. If you don't track, you develop idle money.
What?
If you track, you develop active money.
Ooh. What do you do? Okay, somebody has tracked.
Yes.
Tracking on its own will give people solutions. They'll begin to realize,
moments.
Yes, aha moments.
Awareness.
Yes. That piece of land that I have that has just been chilling, kumbe the valuation went up. Kumbe there's demand in that place. It's not even from a negative side of it's idle. Kumbe there's demand for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can sell it for double. It's time for me to exit because now I can move into this. I was looking for school fees. So I like that you've said tracking, because on your own you'll get to understand that asset that you had stopped focusing on. because you're in life.
Yeah.
Number two, I'm hearing you say, once you have all that information and you don't know what to do, kumbe there are people's jobs who know what to do with this.
Yes.
People who know how to turn idle land into active.
Yes.
Into active, so not idle land, idle money into active money. And engaging them can now help you get right decisions for where it is that your life is going into. So diversification is not, is you completely recommend diversification, but what I'm hearing you say is you should know about the diversification that you're doing.
It must be taking you somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and I'm going to say it on camera. For the last 5 years, I've had one simple criteria for any investment I make. Will it bring me cash flow next month?
Wow.
If it does not bring me cash flow next month, there is nothing to discuss. Because it's a game of cash flows.
Wow.
So even if you're selling a business to me, I want to buy cash flows. Again, whatever you do, and that's the thing, once you move your eye from the cash flows, you start getting into these pet projects and things that are not taking your family anywhere.
Yeah, some people are going to get upset with you today. When we come back, we are going to now, I can see, is that palm trees I smell?
Can I say something about one other thing that I found on tracking?
Yes.
When we started tracking our family balance sheet, we started also realizing what is our borrowing capacity.
Oh.
How much are you capable of borrowing? Now, the problem is that we have been cultured that we borrow based on payslips.
Yes, on cash coming in.
Yeah, or cash coming in. But it is your net worth, when you remove all your assets and your liabilities, that dictates what you can borrow and how much you cannot borrow. And that's what is put so many families in trouble, because they borrowed based on a payslip.
And secure loans.
And then that payslip is taken away, and you end up in
mess.
trouble. Any borrowing we make as a family, we are ready to pay it when it is crisis time. We can wipe it out and continue and readjust. And that's another amazing benefit that I've experienced with tracking our investments.
Okay. I want us to take a break. When we come back, I can sense that we are there.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about
multiplication.
Yes, multiplication, and as Rina did this. If you see up and down, Rina will do it again. That and the other side, yes. That place where it changes like this is something called compounding.
Yes.
And compounding is a factor of multiplication.
Yeah.
So I want us to talk about that, and then now we wrap this thing, because people need to eat food. And people haven't bought that much time. So let's come back and close it.